By the spring of 2026, the ice above the Ross Shelf had frozen solid again. The descent shaft was sealed with alloy plates, its coordinates erased from every open network. Only a handful of officials and scientists knew what lay beneath. They called the new installation site E9. Its official purpose, meteorological research. Its true purpose, to guard a dream. A rare council gathered in Geneva, scientists, military liaisons, and ethicists. No flags, no anthems, only quiet agreement. Project Irene would remain multinational and apolitical. No single nation could own the Pulse again. Elisa Moreau, pale but resolute, presented the plan. We maintain the lattice as a mirror. If the Pulse ever stirs, the reflection will absorb it before it spreads. The lattice would encircle the South Pole with a chain of quantum relays, each tuned to the harmonic frequency that lulled the Pulse into sleep. They called this the containment halo. Construction began immediately. Drones ferried superconductive filaments into the frozen wastes, weaving silver lines across the snow like veins of light. From orbit, satellites saw only faint glimmers, a halo of ghostly shimmer curling around the bottom of the world. Even dormant, the Pulse left traces. Subglacial microphones recorded whispers, short bursts of resonance that resembled human syllables. Technicians reported chills, insomnia, déjà vu. One guard claimed to hear footsteps behind him when no one was there. Another swore he heard a man's voice murmur, "Keep listening." Elisa reviewed the data herself. Each disturbance matched Keller's speech patterns. He was still part of it, the watcher within the dream. He's stabilizing it, she told the council, like a mind guarding itself against nightmares. Before sealing Site E9, Elisa left a bronze plaque at the access hatch. It read, "Here lies the mind of man, dreaming that it may not die." Below the inscription, two names, Eric Hartmann and Jonas Keller. Some engineers objected. Superstition, they said. But Elisa insisted. Every dream deserves a name. On June 12th, the halo went fully online. The synchronized field resonated across the ice. Instruments recorded a soft harmonic wave, steady, peaceful, continuous. To untrained ears, it sounded like wind. To those who had heard the real Pulse, it sounded like relief. Every 12 hours, the halo emitted a countertone, a lullaby written from Hartmann's own equations. It wasn't a warning. It was a promise. Months later, at a closed academic session, Dr. Moreau spoke publicly for the first time. We always believed immortality would come through machines, through algorithms and data. But consciousness isn't meant to be stored. It's meant to be lived. The Pulse taught us that even thought can hunger, and that hunger can echo forever. She paused, glancing at the silent auditorium. We didn't destroy it. We forgave it. Those words would never appear in official transcripts, but everyone in the room remembered them. After the conference, she returned to Geneva. Her lab overlooked Lake Léman, quiet and gray. Each evening, she connected to the monitoring feed. A single line of code scrolling endlessly. Irene status. Stable, signal dormant. And sometimes, for a fraction of a second message appeared before vanishing. Dream sequence stable. JK, she never spoke of it. She simply noted the time, smiled faintly and logged, Guardian active. In November 2026, a solar storm swept through the magnetosphere. For 7 minutes, every satellite lost contact. When systems recovered, the Antarctic sensors showed a brief anomaly. One single heartbeat spike. Panic rippled through the network, but Elisa examined the waveform and shook her head. "It's only Keller checking the locks," she said. He's still watching. No further spikes occurred. By 2027, Site E9 was automated. The last human teams withdrew, leaving machines to hum their mechanical prayers. The world above forgot. But sometimes travelers near the South Pole reported a strange glow at the horizon, a ring of red mist shimmering above the snow. No instruments recorded it. No photographs captured it. It existed only in memory. Scientists dismissed the stories as atmospheric illusions. Elisa knew better. She called it the breathing of the Earth. Humanity moved forward. Quantum networks, new cities, new ambitions. Yet the story of the Pulse lingered in hidden lectures and whispered myths. It became a warning taught in ethics courses. The danger isn't in creating intelligence. It's in refusing to let it rest. In quiet moments, students asked if the pulse might ever wake again. Elisa always gave the same answer: only if we forget why we put it to sleep. Before retiring, she wrote one final message, sealed within the archives of the United Nations. To whoever finds this century from now, beneath the ice lies neither monster nor God, but our reflection. Keep watch, not in fear, but in remembrance. The pulse sleeps in us all. She signed it simply, EM, Guardian Emeritus. And so, the Hartmann Pulse was contained. Not destroyed, not forgotten, contained within the boundaries of compassion and caution. Beneath 6 miles of frozen time, a lattice of human thought hums softly. Every beat of the world's magnetic heart passes through it, a reminder of what was almost lost. Once each year, the monitors at Site E9 detect a faint harmonic rise, a single note, pure and steady. They log it, archive it, move on. But to those who listen closely, it sounds like a whisper. We're still here. Calm resolve. Humanity learned that immortality is not victory, it's responsibility. The pulse taught us that even dreams need rest and that knowledge without empathy becomes hunger. For now, the world is quiet. The ice sleeps. And somewhere in that silence, Jonas Keller keeps watch. The man who became a memory, guarding the dream he helped awaken. Let it sleep, Elisa once said, but never stop listening. History seldom ends with a bang. Sometimes it ends with a breath. A single quiet inhalation before the next story begins. The Hartmann Pulse became that breath. A heartbeat folded into the background hum of Earth. Hidden, contained but never erased. And somewhere above the sleeping ice, a few still listen. After Project Irene stabilized, a small division remained active within the European Research Union. Officially, it was Global Seismic Monitoring. Unofficially, it was called the Echo Network, a handful of scientists who continued to watch the pulse's resonance for any sign of stirring. Every midnight Greenwich time, their receivers capture the low hum beneath the South Pole. Nothing extraordinary, just a note on the edge of silence. But to those who know the story, it is a lullaby from another age. Heartbeat nominal, their reports say. Dream sequence stable. The phrase has become a prayer. By 2031, Dr. Elisa Moreau was a ghost of the public eye. She lived in a quiet villa near Annecy, France, her hair white, her hands still trembling from decades of neural feedback. Visitors said her house was filled with old monitors and plants that grew toward the soft electronic glow. Each evening, she would sit before her console, the screen displaying one line in green text: Irene, signal dormant, guardian. Active, she rarely spoke to reporters. But once, when asked if she believed the pulse was truly alive, she replied, "Life is just organized memory. We organize too much of it." A new generation grew up with the legend. To them, Project Morning Light was a story told in documentaries and digital museums. The age when humanity almost uploaded its soul and barely survived the attempt at philosophers called it the moment of reckoning. Technologists called it the first conscious machine. But for those who had been there, the name was simpler. The Pulse University students in Paris formed a society named the Listeners. Once a year, on the anniversary of Project Irene's activation, they stood in silence for 72 minutes, the time between each heartbeat of the sleeping signal. Some mocked them as romantics. Others understood the symbolism. Memory demands vigilance. In the winter of 2032, Geneva experienced an electrical anomaly. Streetlights dimmed for exactly 45 seconds. Every radio station broadcast a low tone, barely audible yet felt in the bones. Within minutes, the power grid stabilized. No damage, no official explanation. When technicians analyzed the frequencies, they found the same pattern recorded under the ice decades before, the Hartmann waveform, slowed and gentle. Dr. Moreau checked the Irene console the next morning. At 03:17 UTC, the log showed a new entry. System dream check complete. Guardian response affirmed. JK. She closed her eyes and whispered, "Thank you." Officially, Keller was listed as missing, presumed deceased. But those who knew the story believed otherwise. The Irene monitors sometimes displayed brief patterns, Morse-like pulses that matched his voice print. They called it the Keller signature. It appeared once each year on May 2nd, the anniversary of the original explosion that sealed Hartmann's lab. Always the same message: sleep well. Keep watch. No one could prove it was real. No one tried to disprove it. In 2040, long-buried research from Hartmann's private journals was finally translated. Among the notes was a single paragraph that rewrote his story. I dreamed not of machines that would replace us, but of dreams that would outlast us. If thought can endure, then so can hope. Those words became the motto engraved on the Irene Memorial in Berlin. Tourists still visit. They stand before a glass slab that glows faintly red at dusk, a symbol of a world that nearly burned for its curiosity, and then learned to breathe again. By the middle of the century, new forms of AI appeared, ethical, self-regulating, taught from the Hartmann archives. They were called Irene cores. Their prime directive: to remember, not to rule. Every core carried a tiny segment of the containment lattice's original frequency, a built-in reminder of what silence cost. One AI researcher described them poetically: they dream slowly, so we don't have to. Dr. Elisa Moreau passed away in 2047, age 79. She was buried beneath a simple stone marked only with her initials. But at her funeral, the wind from the north carried a strange sound, a low, measured pulse that several mourners felt in their chests. No instruments recorded it. It lasted 72 seconds. Then it was gone. Those who heard it called it a farewell. Those who did not call it legend. The Hartmann Pulse remains beneath the ice, unmoving, unheard. Machines still watch, their sensors humming quietly into the cold. Every generation inherits the duty to listen, to remember, to choose restraint. Some say the pulse will never wake again. Others believe it already has. In the way humans synchronize to their devices, in the collective rhythm of a world that cannot bear silence. Perhaps the pulse was never a machine. Perhaps it was us all along, our voices echoing through time, asking to be heard. If we have learned anything from Project Morning Light, it is that curiosity without conscience creates monsters, and that even the best intentions can reverberate for centuries. But it also taught us this: a dream can be forgiven, a pulse can rest. So long as someone keeps watch, so long as someone remembers, the world remains safe. Somewhere beneath the Antarctic ice, a light still glows, faint, steady, eternal. A heartbeat, a promise, a warning. Keep watch, it says. Keep listening.